You gotta be versatile. That's what I want more people to see. If you're a coach at any level, you have to be versatile. Like, yeah, you wanna be able to put however you do certain things, you want them to adjust to it, but you also gotta meet them halfway too.
Yeah, especially these kids. They're
Yeah.
different. They're a lot different.
Hey, listen, that's facts.
Okay, say either way that life sway. Let's make the right play. Tap in with Coach K, life coach with the right approach. Yeah, she gon' put some Jesus on it. Coach K, heavy on a woman of God. Life coach with the right approach. Yeah, she gon' put some Jesus on it. It's that level 27. Hey, don't stress, be blessed. 3 things to digest. Stay focused, trust God, and respect the process. It's that level 27.
My guest of honor is a proud Fort Worth ISD graduate from Trimble Tech High School. Over the past 14 years, he has served as a basketball coach, specializing in skills work training, earning him the title the Jump Shot Doctor. He's currently the head coach at Polytechnical High School, where his team recently broke a 40-year drought. He was voted Coach of the Year, and he has led 2 teams to receive Team of the Year honors. He has his bachelor's degree in business, and he's currently teaching special education. He's also an AAU coach for the DFW Hawks. And in 2025, his 15U team won the Super 64 Nationals tournament. He wears many hats: coach, business owner, and leader, but his greatest role is being a father. He's made it his duty to be an amazing and present father for his children and every kid he crosses paths with. Today, my guest of honor is Audie Burns, aka Coach Burns. How you doing?
I feel like I need to applause the way you read that. Nah, it's good to be on
Look,
here.
good to be on here. Good to have you. You've done a lot, bro. You've done a lot.
Listen,
Listen.
2025 was a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a
But
busy year because a lot of what you named off was stuff that I tackled last year. So it was a busy year.
yeah. It's crazy that that all came in this past year because like think about the track and the road that you've led this whole time. You had to stay consistent. 14 years is nothing to like blink your eye at. Like that's a
Nah.
long time to do this. Like dealing with
Hmm.
other folks' kids and your own children. You know what I'm saying? Like that's hard. I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world. You have to be called to it. It's not something that you just wake up and be like, I'm doing this today.
Yeah. And it's a calling that I fought for a while. And then I was just like, I gotta stop and just accept it. And then that's when stuff just started falling into place, even though it kind of already was. But once I just fully accepted, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, that's when the trajectory of everything just started going up faster.
Let's talk about that real quick though, because that battle, that internal battle is something that we all kind of like go deal with on a regular because you have, even if you don't take your cues from the outside world, you still see how other people progress or you see things of how people move and you're like, dang, I really wanted to do that too, but it's just not in your calling. So let's talk about how that internal battle was and how you were able to come to that consensus.
So just backstory, my granny used to run a daycare growing up. So I was always surrounded by other people's kids. So I
Hmm.
thought, and I'm thinking like, I'm tired of kids. I don't want to do nothing with kids, but like God just had me do something different and we just had to keep on going with it. Like I
Yeah.
started out, we got hired by a mutual friend to do after school program. And then um, my first coaching mentor, he wanted me to coach the boys basketball team there at South Hills. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just give them some basketball wisdom and stuff like that. But then
Hmm.
I fell in love with it. And then the rest is history. I got into the education system, went through the proper channels to get certified, started out as a lab assistant, then a teacher, and then switching to special education. And I've just been coaching along the way. I even ended up taking a break from coaching because I just didn't like how it was going
Hmm.
and the ins and outs of it and everything. But that I only think it was a full year I was away from education. I think it was maybe like 8, 9 months. And I was like, nah, I got to go back.
Yeah. You feel it when you're not around those kids. As much as it is challenging, it's very
Yeah.
rewarding too. Because once you have them, once they know they can trust you, it's like them the best relationships ever. They're gonna forever remember you and love you too. So
Yeah.
you just gotta chip through that little hard exterior real quick, and then you get them. You know.
Yeah. I've gained a lot of Velcro kids throughout the years. That's what they call them because they gonna stick to you for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad that you finally accepted what the good Lord was trying to get you to get your hands around, and that you really are embracing this role, because that you've already been that person all this time. So it's just good to see you working in your element,
Yeah.
and seeing the impact too. So from somebody who gets to see it up close and personal, it's cool to see.
Yeah. Because you've been there since day one.
Same here, going both ways. You've been here
Yeah.
since day one. So when I be saying I only got 5 friends, he one of them. You
Yeah.
know, we've been through the trenches, but I'm glad that we made it. So tell me a little bit about like your experience when it comes to teaching, and like what's the highs and lows of being in that space.
The lows is really just seeing a kid that has potential and they have these dreams and then they have no support other than you.
Mm,
So I've had kids that I've helped them get into their dream college, dream university, and their parents don't back them because that wasn't their route. So
mm,
instead of their kid listening to me, of course they're gonna listen to their parent, but then they end up regretting that stuff later on, and it kind of hinders them, and they have to go through more of a lot more obstacles just to get to where they want to be in life.
wow. Yeah. It's sad to see that for sure, because as a parent, your job is to put them in a better situation than you were in.
Hmm.
Or and not like stop them from doing things because you scared.
Yeah, and that's the like to trail off into the parenting part. If you know you don't know a lot about something, go ask somebody
Hmm.
because you're gonna end up hurting your kid more just because you don't know what's going on. Go, the information's out there. Go get the information or go ask somebody, or they could have asked the student and I could have talked to the parent. Like it's a whole bunch of different ways they could have went about that on those different
Yeah.
situations and they just didn't. That's for the
Yeah.
lows. Now for the highs is them accomplishing all those things, like the college graduates that I've mentored, that I've had since high school, them just catching on to a new concept, whether it's in the classroom or on the basketball court, or even if it's life. I
Yeah.
still get stuff from like some of my old students. It was like, hey, you told me this, I wrote it down, and it's deep, impactful stuff. And honestly, I don't even remember saying it.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't had this conversation before. Like, I just tell y'all, like, that's not even me. That's God, because I have no idea where this stuff come from. Like, I feel like I'm smart and I'm deep, but the stuff that I've been told that I've shared in those moments, I was like, yeah, that ain't me.
You know why, bro? Another reason why it's hard for us to see that we could have said something like that is because of the way we deliver it. So God definitely uses you as a vessel, and the way that you say it is why it sticks. So I think you're doing what you naturally do on a normal day. So to
Yeah,
you, it's not extraordinary, but to that kid, it's like he saw me
yeah,
in that moment. So it's very interesting. Like, and it's cool to get that feedback because you don't always get that.
right. Yeah. One of my kids quoted me in their graduation speech. It was valedictorian. He quoted me literally in the speech, and I was like, "Oh shit, it really do hit." So that was like the
You
first
heard me.
time I was like, okay, that's a bar that I said, and I didn't even know it."
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, God really is talking. He really
Yeah,
is coming through. I'm doing something right. Cause man, that's all I feel like it. I feel like at the end of the day, as long as you're being as authentic as you can be in those moments, you'll get to more students than you would if you were being trying to be on their level.
yeah,
Like if you were trying to be them versus being yourself. So keep doing that, please, because it's needed, especially when you talk about working at an inner city school like where you are.
yeah.
So when you're in that space and you acknowledge that somebody has a family that doesn't support them, like what are the next steps to what do you do in that situation? Because it's like in your hands at that point. So what do you do in that situation?
Try to relate to them even more because most of the time we from the same neighborhoods or we know somebody that's from that
That's crazy.
neighborhood. Like I didn't have a perfect childhood either. And I'm the first college graduate my family seen. So I just try to share this story with them. I was like, yes, they may not know, but if you feel like this is your best thing to do, then that's what you need to do. It depends on what life you're trying to have in the future. I try to share like some personal experience because working at the school I work at in the hood, and I'm from the hood, I'm either going to find one of my friends that relates to their situation or the field of study or area they trying to work in, and then try to put them in contact. So even if they don't have their support, they see somebody that's from that same like background and get to where they're trying to go. But I
Yeah.
also share my own personal experience because my home life wasn't great. I'm the only one that graduated from college. So just trying to show them like, hey, it's people that have done it and try to show them that they can do it too.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad that you try to connect them with people that are like-minded and that come from the same type of areas because sometimes that's all we need is the representation. Just to
Yeah.
see that it's real and tangible, and especially if those people are willing to come and be in their face.
Yeah. Because they ain't got these kids today have it better than we did because
Talk about
we
it.
didn't have an us. Like
No.
we didn't have nobody like trying to pick them back up. Like I didn't know nobody in my circle or extended family that went to college and we were going blind. Like we were our own circle,
Yes.
even though like it's people like we not really cool with no more. We literally helped each other out just by figuring life out. So that's why I always tell them
Yeah.
too, if you got a good friend and good circle, try to keep that even though stuff may happen down the line, lean on that circle now because you're gonna
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah, our friend group was very special and good things, bad things, whatever. Like at the end of the day, the one thing we had in common was we weren't about to stay stagnant in this place. Like everybody had dreams and aspirations of getting to a certain point or doing more than what they've seen in their lives. Like
Yeah,
that was our common thread. We're gonna be better than what we saw,
yeah.
And that's the good thing about being in a team setting too. Like sometimes you may not have very good teammates, but you may have one or two that's like, hey, I might not talk to them all the time, but I can see that they're trying to do things and they push me to be even better.
Mhm.
Talk talk about that a little bit too when it comes to you being a coach, the team dynamic and the culture you try to set in that locker room. How does that pour over into their academics and different things in life as well?
Just showing them like it's gonna be hard. Like practice, it should be harder than the game. And I try
Yeah.
to relate that to the classroom. Like you studying, you study all these hours and it's gonna take you probably 30 minutes to do this test that you gotta take.
Mhm.
But it'll pay off because you should be prepared in and throughout the whole thing to kill that test. Just like with
Mhm.
practice, you gonna practice 100 some hours, and then the game is 32 minutes at the high school level.
Yeah.
So you should be able to concentrate and do that because we've hit every situation that you'll hit at practice.
Yeah. Where does that come from? Like, do you have a standard that you live by? Or is it just like something that you talk to your kids about? Or is it coming from you personally?
Uh, Personally, especially on the athlete side of that, yeah, I'll get to the academic side later. But the athlete side of it, I wasn't super athletic and I wasn't 6'5" and all of that, but I worked at what I wanted to get better at.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't like dribbling, but I knew how to get to my spots. I knew how to shoot. Like, didn't nobody teach me that shoot. I learned how to shoot from above the rim. You're like,
Yeah.
spread your fingers and flick your wrist. I bet. That's what I'm doing. And then a little bit of it is like sometimes I have like a photographic memory when it comes to certain things.
Mhm.
So it's like a little cheat code. I can see somebody do it and then I can do it too. That played a big part when it came to the athletic side of it. But I had to work on all this stuff and seeing those little progressions, you gotta just like in life, you gotta celebrate the small victories.
Yeah,
And on the
for sure.
academic side of it, not to brag on them, but I skipped up a grade in elementary. So in my family, I was like the little child prodigy genius and all of that. And they were trying to get me just to graduate early. I was like, no, I still want to experience the school life. I'm already youngest in my class. I don't need to, keep going up. But it was an
Mhm.
adjustment going to college because I didn't know how to study. I was able to
Yeah,
just remember what we did and do good on the test. But when I got to college, you have to really know the material in depth. So there was an adjustment for
say that
me.
again, please. Say that again, please.
That's why I tell everybody, I was like, yeah, high school is easy, especially if you at a lower level high school, because even the high schools is tiered different. I ain't gonna call the schools
Yeah,
out, but yeah, it's tiered different. If you at certain schools, especially if you're at a hood school, the curriculum is not the same as you could see at the top school that's doing the best in your district.
exactly.
So high school,
Yep.
you can get
That's
away with it.
spoon
When you get
feeding
to
you.
college, yeah, you better study. You gotta know the stuff in depth because you're not gonna know what they put on their test.
Yep. That's facts. You're not gonna know, and then also nobody's going to hold your hand. So whenever
Mm-mm,
they give you a syllabus or syllabi, however you want to say it, that paper or whatever they put on there is what it is, and they update it often. So
mm-hmm.
if you're not on top of your P's and Q's, but brother and sister, you're gonna miss the date, and they do not give you options to retake it if they don't want to. They
Nope,
might be nice enough to be like, I'll extend it for you this one time.
that's it. You're not gonna get
Good
it every
luck.
time. And
Good
if you
luck.
miss a lot of class, like in high school now, they didn't have this when we was in school. They got attendance recovery. So if you
Mm,
miss a certain amount, you can come up after school or on Saturdays and make up those attendance hours. We didn't have that growing up. You missed them
summer
days, you missed them
school.
days.
And you going to
Or you
summer
going to
school.
or you going to summer school. That's it. It wasn't you can make this up. No.
Mm.
They make it so easy for them now. But in college, you ain't got none of that. Ain't no you missed them hours, you missed that lab, you missed them tutoring sessions. You just left out.
Yeah. Especially if you're talking about athletes. Like, honestly, when it comes down to being a student athlete, it's a little different now because of NIL, because they have a
Yeah,
little bit more fluidity now. But
yeah,
as far as like you passing them classes, like, bro, you gotta figure this out because you're balancing school. Work is athletics. That's your work. And then some of y'all got the audacity to have a social life too. You know what I'm saying? Like you balancing family, that's 5, 6 things. Like
yeah.
you're trying to balance at once, and then you still got to show up on that field or that court. And if you don't show up and perform, good luck staying on the team or being active, you know? So
They
it's a
will flip
lot.
your butt off.
They will, or they will bench you. You will be riding that pine for the rest of your time for that year, and they're gonna move on. It's cutthroat. It really is. It's cutthroat. So, how do you get your girls prepared for that mentality of just like having tough skin and knowing that like it's about you taking care of you so that you can do what you need to do on the court and be present?
So I would like to say I'm a player's coach just so they can relate to me more, but they also
Hmm.
know that I got the dark coach side too. So they know like, hey, if I ain't doing right or if I ain't on top of my game, I'm on their head. And they hate me
Hmm.
in that moment, but usually they come back around and say like, hey, what should I do better? Or if they are messing up in the classroom, I tell them, I said, I'm gonna talk to your teacher one time and it's only gonna be one teacher. So after this one time, I'm not doing it no more because there's no excuse for
Hmm.
you not to be handling your business. So with
Yeah.
them knowing that they have to get there because I'm not holding your hand for nothing.
Mm-mm. No, not
Like
at
they
all.
still be hitting me with those stories that again, sometimes I forget I make them do this. Once they see that, I know you're gonna clip this part, hopefully. They gonna see this clip and I know they gonna see this and say, why are you talking about me?
I'm
The
glad you
first
gave me
group I
that
started,
stamp. Good.
right? The first group I started back coaching at Poly, it was like the first freshman team they had in like 12 years. But
Mm.
I recruited these girls and then they were just coming together as a team. And like three of them came in high to practice one day. I said, oh, y'all want to come in high? Okay. When I tell you I put them through they went through it, and I ain't never seen them high again because they were literally they were literally about to pass out. And they've been graduated for 3, 4 years now, and they still bring it up. So it was basically 7 years ago, and they still feeling that stuff. They're like, "Nah, yeah, I'm not doing that no more." I'm like, "Yeah, you can't do that. You can't show up to your job under the influence thinking you finna get the best out of yourself. No, you ain't finna
No.
do that now. You ain't gonna do it then."
You brought him back down to earth. That high was ruined.
Yeah, I ruined that. Come high
Good.
around me, nah.
Nah,
Knock this
bring
out
you right
now.
on down. Knock that high on down. Welcome to earth. Now go
Yeah,
get on the line.
yeah. Get on the line. Do these wild jumps, these wild sits. And
Whew,
you better not miss the time in this conditioning because you finna add on more.
Jesus. I miss sports so much, but I do not miss that. I do
Yeah.
not miss that circus, that boy, them suicides, all of that. Jesus. What's that 114 across? Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
Sweet
man.
16. Yeah, where you gotta
Sheesh. We used to die every day,
yeah,
die. And I don't know
right.
how you even thought them lungs.
That's how I know I was in shape because I was able to do that stuff then. Like I hated it, but I was able to make it. Now I do that, I'm passing out.
I was Bengay down before practice. I used to Bengay before. I was like, my knees and stuff was already doing the most at that
Yeah,
time. So, hey, it worked. Bengay right before. It was already a little cooling. Helped me out while I'm
yeah,
running. Lord Jesus. I wish we had NIL back then because I definitely would have had to deal with Bengay.
yeah. BioFreeze was my friend. Like, please help me. I need
Yeah.
it. My calves are burning.
Man, tell me a little bit about dealing with the actual professional side of working as a coach in Fort Worth ISD. How has it been when it comes to like the athletic departments and just like that type of situation when it comes to being a coach?
So I'm gonna say when I first started out, it took an adjustment time for me to get from athlete to coach. Cause in my mind, back in our day, we didn't like who we played until we wasn't playing them no more. So
Facts.
when I started coaching, I didn't like none of the other coaches. So I wasn't talking to them. That's why I'm glad I started as assistant coach. So they're like, this is rude. Like this guy tripping. Like I'll go shake their hand and stuff, but I ain't finna have no real conversation with you. Like you the
Oh
enemy.
my gosh.
But it took an
Ops.
yeah, I like you. But it's really a good coaching community once you actually do reach out. Like it's gonna be some butthole coaches that you don't like. It's a couple that I don't like now. But
Yeah.
yeah, but you can lean on all of them, even the rude ones, they'll still help you out in your time of need or just if you need some advice or anything. As far
Yeah.
as coordinators, I've been blessed with 2 good coordinators. One of them was too good, so she set the bar so high that I can't just go to any school just because as much as she took care of the coaches and all the players.
Mhm.
But she moved on and she's a principal now, so but yeah, she's the best coordinator I had. She was on top of everything. She took care of everything. She made sure we were protected. She taught us a lot. Like, she one of my close friends now.
Yeah. Look, she did her job
Yeah.
above and
And
beyond.
she cared about it. Like, it's different when you just do your job and then you really care about what you're doing and you care about the people that you hired and you make the right hires. Cause there's so many coaches that are literally just doing it for a check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
They definitely are. They definitely are.
I've
So
been blessed.
I've been blessed. But that tells you right there too, like when God has put you on a path, of course you're gonna have like some struggles and things that you have to work through. But honestly, he makes the path very clear. It,
Yeah.
he gives you what you need in those moments and he helps you as you journey throughout that process. So that's how you know when you on the right path too. It's like have a little bit of resistance. I didn't want to do it. Chose to do it and now it's flowing. Yeah. Tell me about the difference between being a coach in the school system versus being an AAU coach because those seem like two totally different
It
worlds.
is. It's like night and day. you spend so much time with your school team to where they basically just become like family. And then you see each other at your highest and lows. And then the season is from October to February.
Mhm.
So you got 4 or 5 months with these girls. You're gonna get random pushback, and it's just that grind to get there. And of course, the talent is not. It's very rare that you're gonna have the same talent in AAU that you have in your school ball team because you're recruiting the girls from AAU, and then school ball is just whoever's there.
Yeah.
So in AAU, it's real performance based. School ball, not so much, especially in fourth ISD. They just happy to
Yeah.
have a coach, and then if you know what you're doing, good. Which is sad to
Jeez.
say in that. But AAU, they want to make sure their kid is getting better. If you have a really good team, they want to make sure they're in front of college coaches.
Yeah.
The travel is different. The pay is better, but it keeps you on your P's and Q's. And a lot of people's like, I don't see how you coach year round. I was like, it's so different that it doesn't feel like I'm coaching. And it's something I love too though.
Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah. So it's something that I love, and then it's just two different things. Like I can be more experimental with the AAU girls, and then if I see something that works, like at that level, I know I could break it down and lower it to my school ball team.
Yeah. It's like Robin Hood.
Yeah, it
Like,
it,
to be
it really
honest.
is. And then just the people that you meet at these AAU tournaments, because you're gonna run into college coaches and you're gonna see some 5-star girls and everything. Since I'm on the girl side, because I done seen and ran into so many NBA players or ex-NBA players. I was on the sideline against Jason Terry, and he came over and he was like,
Not the
"Hey," and
Jets?
I was like, "Hey," and I saw his team. I was like, "We finna get blew out," but I got to say I coached against Jason Terry.
Yeah.
Wesley Johnson, coached against him before. That was a good game. And then it's just like local coaches that you usually just see out that are good and they still like doing their thing. So it's always good. I got a picture with one of my best point guards with Aaliyah Chavez like a year or two ago when her last year on the circuit.
Man.
So it's just a dope thing to see.
Yeah. How did you get into AAU though?
My second coaching mentor that I had, I was supposed to be a part of this other organization, but the pandemic hit.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that would have worked or not, but I love the DFW Hawks and where I'm at. Like it's those smaller towns around the DFW to where basketball is life. So
Mhm.
they take it very seriously. From Brock and La Pan, Gordon, like all of those smaller schools, they looking to go to the playoffs 3, 4 rounds deep.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed to coach them and get them ready for that long haul, and seeing them apply what we went through to use it in school ball is just something nice.
Yeah. Now that you may say that's smaller cities, but them big dogs though, you said Brock.
Nah, for real.
Like in this area, when you hear Brock, you know what to expect when you hear Brock. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing how sports just in general in Texas, it's a different level here. Like
I'm
it's funny to
trying to
hear
tell
people that
people.
it's different here, like football, basketball, all of it. It doesn't matter what sport. I'm saying like we take our sports very
Yeah,
serious,
it's serious,
especially football, especially football.
especially football.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's why when you come here, you're gonna see multi-million-dollar complexes
Yeah.
and you're gonna see that at a high school. You be like, "This not
Mhm.
college?" No, it's a high school, you know? This is
Yeah.
normal for us. So, yeah.
So it's just crazy because they'll see me out. Even like you got to make sure you are the best representation of yourself.
Yeah.
So, because word of mouth goes around. I done had parents that I haven't seen before, but since I coached another kid and their parents spoke so highly of me, those parents loved me too. And they was like, "Hey, when my kid gets this age, I want you to coach them, or I want you to coach this group."
Yeah.
Like it's always a good thing. So just make sure you putting your best foot forward every time.
Yeah, for sure. Tell me how you got deemed the jump shot doctor.
Shoot, this is when I first started out. It was just something that I studied because as a player, you should be able to do the basic of the basic things. You
Mhm.
should be able to dribble. You should be able to have a go-to move that you can rely on all the time.
Yeah.
You should be able to shoot,
Yeah.
and you should be able to play defense. And the shot form is the most easiest thing to say that you got, but everybody doesn't have the correct coaching or they just don't know. So that's why I stepped in and did it. Who was my first little protege? Mike Hill. He couldn't shoot
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
3-point shot to save his life. And I think he
Mhm.
made maybe 2 or 3 the previous season. And then the next season, he shot up to like 75 threes made in the season. Like, and I say I'm the shot doctor, yeah, but you have to be able to apply to what I'm teaching you. So I can only show you how to do that, but then the rest is up to you.
You need to go work for LSU in the women's department. I'm not trying to be funny.
On the girl side, they can't shoot. They usually have one shooter.
They can shoot, but there are certain stars that came from LSU that cannot even shoot a layup.
That's wild.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
So the layup
I
part, I don't know if I can fix it because I know who you're talking about.
no, shoot shots, shooting jump shots too. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying is, I think as a coach, it's important that you're gonna decide what type of coach you are. But at the
yeah.
end of the day, the goal should be to develop these students, these athletes into the best athletes that they can be. Meaning they should understand fundamental basketball.
That's true.
And if you cannot shoot a jump shot, it may not be your best thing that you can do, but if you can't, like, your form should be correct shooting a jump shot. Your form should be correct shooting a layup. These are textbook things like
That's why I
dribbling.
say that I hate to see somebody with bad form.
Man,
And
it sucks.
when I first started fixing people's jump shots, I turned to that person in the gym that's gonna help that random person out with their jump shot. Like, hey, nah, shoot like this. Cause it made me sick to my stomach. Like, who taught you this?
Nobody taught me. That's why I'm like this.
But
We've all been there.
I've had some people tell me they had some horrible people telling them how to get there. As far as LSU, it's on the head coach, but it's not on the head coach as well because she has to do so many other different things, the picture as a whole. It's on the assistant coach, or if she
But if it's
hired
not,
an assistant coach
it's
to
still
teach
on
them how
her.
to do that.
It's still
Yeah,
on her because she
yeah,
is the buck stops with her. Because at the
yeah,
end of the day, even if you're not the person physically teaching them, my point is it a requirement and is it a priority? Because if you had an athlete 2 years and they still shooting like that, it's on you.
yeah.
Like, to
That's
me
fact.
as a head coach, like, you've had this player for 2 years. I ain't seen no changes, and they in the league, and I ain't seen no changes until she
But
got
then
to the league.
you also gotta see too, they probably did try to coach them and correct it, but some people, like I said, they gotta be able to accept that coaching. Cause it's
That's
been
true.
some kids that I've showed them time and time again how to shoot. It just
Yeah,
never came to fruition to fruition with it. It just never came around. I was like, I don't know
you're
what
just
else to
not
tell
gonna
you.
get it. You're just not gonna get there are certain players who reject everything that you say, and
Yeah,
there are some that will listen and still it just takes a little bit longer for them to get it. But I'm just saying in general, I agree with you when you say that there has to be a standard and there has to be a fundamental foundation set when it comes to either being an athlete or just in life in general. You need that so that you can do the razzle dazzle. People be trying to do the razzle dazzle and don't got the foundation,
yeah. 'Cause I've
and
seen,
that be looking crazy.
as far as the girls' side, their forms usually look better than the guys,
Yeah,
and they are more open to coaching. Now,
yeah,
let's go to the NBA. Brooke Lopez was a center, and he seen like, hey, everybody shooting threes now. He changed up his whole game when it came to that. Now he's one of the best 3-point shooters like that's out there. And he
yeah, yeah. I
so
like Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, me too. And it's possible. You just got to put that work in and then just accept it. A lot of people don't want to do that. They was like, well, I got this far without this part of my game. I'm going to keep going. Even LeBron jump shot got better over the years.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
if he is top 3 ever and he can get a jump shot, why can't you?
Right. That's basketball. That midi, like it don't matter where it's at. It's a jump shot.
Yeah. Shoot.
So, cause Chris Paul is the midi king.
Yeah. He going to get to his spot for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, we're gonna roll right on into the skills training portion of it because I think that it is important for people to understand the fundamentals. So tell me, why do you love breaking things down to the basic bare bones?
Because you're going to need it. From just anything, yeah, you definitely gonna need it. So no matter who I'm coaching, I don't care where your skill level is at. We got skill level with everything.
Mm-hmm.
In the AAU world, some coaches don't want to take their time and do that. They just getting ready for you to get ready to play in these tournaments. I'm like, no, you finna show me that you can get better, and then we can play in any situation.
Yeah.
And when we won the Super 64 Nationals, I just remember we had like a big break and we couldn't get into any gyms for a little bit. And then like for the next week and a half, we was getting into the Nationals. And I just drilled power layups and 2-foot layups in them that whole time. And literally from the highlights from that whole tournament, I saw those girls using that and it changed everything. And when I tell
Mm-hmm.
you we ran through that tournament, we ran through that tournament. So
Yeah. Cause
that's why I say certain parts will help you win a lot of different stuff. Because if you're
yeah.
able to take a foul or a bump and still make the layup, that changes a lot from momentum and everything.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. When it comes to like AAU, it's very clear that you're gonna get some of the top talent, right? Like it because people can afford to develop their kids or put them in these programs and all that different stuff. A lot of coaches rest on the morals of like, we know they're going to be at a certain level.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your coaching philosophy when it comes to like making sure that you always show up your best in those types of settings? Because it can be easy to fall into that because you're around it.
To show up is my best. I don't know, because I just see about the talent too. Every year I do 2 teams, and I could do more, but I feel like they're stretching myself too thin. So
Yeah,
I'll get a higher level team, and then I'll get a developmental team, just so I have that balance to where I'm gonna put in the work and just not get too comfortable. So I gotta play
good.
like mind tricks with myself to stay on top of it.
Yeah,
But it's just knowing these girls show up and they want to get better. So sometimes I ask them, I was like, hey, what did your coach say you need to work on this off season? Or what do you think you need to work on? Because we have like 3 weeks before we have our first tournament. So I don't get to see them in a live game for a while. So those first 3 weeks, we drilling, pushing everything, getting up shots, a lot of skill work just to see who I can put where and when.
yeah, yeah. How's it dealing with those parents versus the fourth ISD parents?
Honestly, the school I'm at now, there's little to no parent involvement, which is
Mm,
sad to say. It's one parent that'll come and he just fully trusts me with his daughter. So that's dope. Oh no, it's 2 parents that show up. The other family, I coach the older sister too. So she
mm-hmm.
trusts everything that I do as well. But that parent involvement is good because in my coaching career, I've had parents that were like, they just saw their kid through a certain type of parent goggles to where their kid could do no wrong and they didn't want me to coach that kid hard.
Mm,
And that's something like as a parent myself, it's something you got to deal with too. Like, hey, why my kid ain't playing well or why they not in at this time? Luckily, I coach. So when my oldest was playing volleyball, I see the other kids messing up, and then I'll see my daughter get out there. I was like, oh, she good. Should she be getting more playing time? And then I think about the extra work she put in. She don't. She don't deserve to get more playing time. But I make sure she's trying her hardest when she's out there.
Mhm.
So I'm addressing my kid before I'm trying to get in the coach. Or I'm gonna tell my kid, hey, go ask the coach why you aren't getting more playing time and what you need to work on.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
make holding her accountable.
as far as AAU, I haven't had any really bad parents, but probably one. And I just let it play out because what I try not to do is down talk the kid.
Yeah.
So I've had this parent for 2 years now. It's probably about to be the third year. Daughter, very coachable and everything. She needed a lot of skill work when it came to dribbling. And he doesn't
Mhm.
really understand basketball, but he thought I had her playing in the post. And I was like, no, I run a motion. Ain't no post. But he was just like, since the team wasn't all that good, this was my developmental team that year that I first started her out with. He was just like, she's not getting the best out of her situation or whatever. And then he started down talking to other players. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And then he was like, well, why isn't she doing better? You might not be the coach for her. So I was like, you sure you want my honest answer as a coach? So before I went in, I just told him everything she needs to work on. I'm like, her handling got to get better. Her jump shot ain't where it's supposed to be right now. I was like, she's not just like no really good guard. She should be just with her size, but she's sticking to post moves because she's not comfortable being out there on the wing.
Mhm.
So if they're able to have those open and honest conversations about what their kid needs to get better at, I'm open to having it. But I'm just not gonna volunteer the information because they're gonna think I'm negatively talking about their kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like playing the mind game with them too, because you just not trying to be safe with it and make sure you protect the kid at all costs, no matter what. Yeah.
Cause I don't like telling the kid they can't do something because that's one thing I don't let a kid say in practice. There's no such thing as I can't. Like
Yet.
I'm not gonna
You'll
go
get
tell
there.
you I'm not gonna tell you to go dunk, but the stuff I got you doing, I know you can do. Eventually you're gonna get there. But
Yeah.
I don't like hearing can't.
Yeah. Nah. Cane is not a word that should be in the vocabulary, dog.
Nah, yeah, I can't
I'm
do it
not there
yet.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Okay. Well, I know I wanted to make sure that I asked you about the skills gap between Fort Worth ISD and surrounding areas. So tell me a little bit about that as well, because I know that was something that that you've been able to see just being in your position.
It's so bad and it keeps getting worse.
Lord.
Even like the better schools in Fort Worth ISD. So it's a couple different factors to it. Kids don't start playing basketball till later. Sometimes
Mhm.
their parents can't afford a trainer.
Mhm.
And the good athletes that are from Fort Worth go to schools outside of Fort Worth ISD.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different levels to it.
Hmm.
For example, my team was at a tournament in December. One of my AAU kids was on one of the teams that played in the tournament. She's a freshman. Her skills are by far ahead of all the girls that I got. So I just showed them like, hey, y'all ask about my AAU kids. This is one of them. Watch their game. And they was like, man, she's good. What grade is she in? She's a freshman.
Mm.
And they was like, oh. I was like, yeah. And she isn't even the best girl on her AAU team. And you see how she's leading this team on her own as a freshman. But she puts the work in and she's so humble and so hungry. I said, y'all got to bring that too. But
Mhm.
again, she's not in Fort Worth, and it's the skills gap is crazy. Because I don't know when the last time on the girls' side for sure that a Fort Worth basketball team won a playoff game.
Yeah.
It's been a while. And in
In our
our
day, we used to
era,
see it all the time.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. In our era, like you got Dunbar finna go far on the girls' side. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't. We knew it,
Yeah. Yeah. When
and
we played
even
Dunbar, we knew it.
yeah, even shoot, dude, 10 years ago, Trimble Tech girls,
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
But everybody's going out to all these other different schools.
Yeah. Hey. What do you suppose can be done about that though? Like, is there anything that we can do to fix that, or is it just like we just wait until the day it just crashes?
It's gonna have to be a statewide change because I've noticed in some of those smaller towns, they'll put affordable housing there and they have better facilities than we have in Fort Worth.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
look at their gyms compared to our basketball gyms, our stuff look old and run down, and the gym is dang near 50 years old. So it's
yeah,
not enticing to get them to come in. The classification levels, like I don't think my school should be 5A. Like attendance
yeah,
wise, yeah, we got 1,000 some kids. Athletics wise, we don't have the numbers there.
yeah.
So I think we should go off how many kids are showing up to these sports programs and actually playing and go off of that. So I think UIL needs to change it to where a kid can transfer one time for whatever reason, whether it's for sports reasons or whatever. Because if they go to the college level, you see they can transfer 57 times before they
It's not smart either, but
leave.
you know,
That's not smart either, but yeah. So I say let them have the power to do it once
hmm
and then go from there because it's a lot of stuff that goes on that's not fair to the kids. And so they do transfer, they can't play because the coach that they used to have is blocking them from doing it.
yep, yeah,
And that's not fair. Like I got an AAU kid, the coach got into it with the family, like the police got involved. So she transferred. But the new district that she went to, one of the other coaches didn't want to play against her because she's good. So they blocked her from
mm,
playing district games. Now, like that's not fair. Like her
it's not fair.
situation should be able to let her go.
Yeah, that should definitely be a loophole for that. And with NIL about to be in high school, it's about to be the Wild Wild West anyway. It's about to be
Hmm.
even worse because of that one little old thing. There's no real rules. Like, I think that they're getting better with recognizing what needs to be shifted and stuff like that when it comes to NIL, but I myself am concerned about NIL in high school. I want them to make money, yes, but
Yeah. It's gonna be too crazy. I
it's
don't
gonna be
want us to get to high school.
crazy.
I don't want us to get to high
It's
school.
it's coming. It's already coming, bro.
I know it's gonna come because you really can't block. Hopefully they'll block it, but those 2-3 years before they block it,
It
it's
just
gonna
need
be
to have
wild.
stipulations. They need to learn from the college realm and adjust and fix things for high school, because if you're gonna do it in high school, there needs to be a certain level of like restrictions because they are high school students, bro. Like
That's what I'm saying.
they're
They
high
shouldn't
school
get that
students.
money. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be
It's
so
gonna be
bad.
bad.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
so
bad.
bad. I don't see
It's
no
bad. It's so
good coming
bad.
from that. It's so bad. I don't see it just thinking about it. Cause I know these kids and the mistakes that they make, they
Yeah.
should not have no money. They should not have no real money at all.
The most responsible thing you can do, even if they don't listen, is make it mandatory that they go through certain training.
I
Like,
hope so.
in a sense of like, you have rules and regulations that are in place for these students. Learn from the college realm, fix that, and put it in the high school portion of it.
Yeah.
Because if you let them just be free range like chickens, it's over. It's
It's
over.
gonna be so bad. So bad.
It's gonna be bad. Well, I got my answer there because I was gonna ask you what you felt about that NIL coming to high school and even
Nah.
in college as well. Like, it's almost like in college, the athletes are wanting the coaches to like grovel for them or something. I don't know. It's kind of different. It's like the shoe has it has changed. What can
That's
you
why
do for
Nick
me? Which
Saban
is
stopped
okay.
coaching.
It's okay. I love that the students have power. Don't get it twisted
Yeah.
because I am definitely a advocate for the student athlete.
Me too.
But it's a responsibility that comes with that power that I don't think that most kids embrace, that they don't take in and that they don't take ownership of. They just think that, oh, I have the power to do what I want to do, but they don't think about the repercussions of their decisions.
Yeah. We already
I'm
seeing that.
transferring.
Yeah, we already seeing it now in real time.
Yeah.
The QB from University of Washington, he's
Yeah.
trying to renege on his contract and not do what he said he was gonna do. Like you had a no transfer clause in your contract, bro. You ain't supposed to go nowhere. They
A
done paid
no
all this money
transfer
investing in you.
clause.
Yeah, That's
God.
smart. That's how it needs to be. Just because
Yeah.
you can't just leave somewhere just to leave somewhere.
Yeah. They made Troy Aikman angry. He donated all that money to UCLA, and then they had the quarterback, and then he left, and he was mad because he was like, I don't like it. It just really kind of like ticked him off because you don't have any rules or restraints. Like it's just like the Wild Wild West for real. Like
Yeah.
you choose, but there have been some coaches who have figured out a system that works for them, and like they're taking ownership of their team again. Like the power's getting back in their hands, which is good. But in the end, it's gonna either be taxes or you not having an opportunity to actually play because you kept transferring. That's gonna hurt these kids in the long run.
Yeah. But I like
So
look who just won the college football championship. Indiana.
yeah,
They
shout
did
out to
not
Indiana.
right. They did not spend a whole bunch of money.
No, they have a
And
system. That's exactly who I was talking about when I said
yeah.
that too.
But
Yeah,
Miami spent all this money. They got to the championship, but they ain't
they
do
got
nothing
there
with it.
though. They got there
Ohio
though, but
State spent the
yeah,
most money the last 2 years, and you see it. So just because you got all these top star players and you paying for them, that don't mean a championship coming from it.
they got to the promised land last year though.
Yeah, Ohio State, yeah. They won last year, yeah.
And I love what
But
Ohio State is doing right now when it comes to just the students, like how they are operating, like
yeah,
as a unit.
yeah.
That I do love. So
I've seen them. That's the school that was doing like the baptisms and stuff before the season
mhm,
started and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm all for that.
yeah,
Like, let's
yeah,
go. Because
they
y'all are
leaders.
needed.
They're leaders though, and I said I think that you get enough dogs in your room, like it could either be a horrible thing or it could be something great. Like it all comes down to leadership and how you set the culture. Because at the end of the day, you still play here in a
Mm-hmm.
system. I think that that's the part that people don't understand. It's like yes, you're talented, we get it, we appreciate your talent, but this is a system. Do you
Right.
fit our system? Some coaches need to quit being so thirsty too. Choose people who fit your system.
I think I know who you're talking about. I ain't gonna say his name.
I'm just
He's a
saying,
good offensive coach. I'm gonna say
hey,
that.
choose people who fit your system, and it has to be mutual. It can't be one sided. If it's one sided, you bound to lose the student or you bound to lose the coach. One or the other. Like,
Yeah. That's why I got all the respect for Nick Saban and the Indiana football coach because
Signity.
they coach. Like he
Yeah,
coached. You can tell
yeah,
from quarter to quarter, and even when from school to school that he done been to, they
yeah.
coach.
They do coach. They set their culture, and the standard is the standard. And I do love too that they gave people a chance that weren't the belle of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he took a chance on someone who may not have been a 5-star at first,
Yeah.
but they worked their way up to being 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? They came from here, started from the bottom, now we here type players.
Yeah.
And I love that because those kids have something to play for. And they really do appreciate the opportunity. And these 5 stars better get it together. Cause when you don't have the character to go along with the talent, it's only gonna take you so far.
Mm-hmm.
You only got this much string, okay? And are you gonna be out of rope? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna have enough space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's why I love
it's
them type of
interesting.
coaches
It,
where you can tell they're gonna do the best of whatever they got. From
hmm
Mike Tomlin to Nick
Yeah,
Saban. He even said when he recruited Derrick Henry, he was the only one recruiting Derrick Henry as a running back. And he
hmm
had broke all these high school records. Everybody else was trying to change him to a linebacker. And
No,
then
he is
from
what he is.
exactly from Coach Popovich to Eric Spoelstra to Rick Pitino, I just like all the
hmm
coaches that they might not have the best roster, but they gonna get the most out them guys. So it
Yeah,
goes a very long way.
everybody you just mentioned, they're very creative, and I think that in coaching, you have to have the mind of an artist
Yeah.
because you're really painting a picture. The canvas is blank every year, even if you have certain returners. The
Mm-hmm.
canvas is blank. Now it's like, what are we trying to reach? What's the goal? And how can I put these pieces in place to make this nice little Picasso real quick?
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna be that way just because you have the talent. You
Mhm.
have to put them in the right setup to be able to be the best thing out there.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
'cause
well, that's why I appreciate coaches.
yeah, like, even though my season ain't over yet, I think we got 2 more weeks.
Mhm.
I'm already planning and excited for next season because I'll have a whole off season with them, and I'm excited to see where I can get them to and push them to.
Yeah,
So
for
even
sure.
though this season may not end up how I wanted to, we gonna make sure we get there next year, or we gonna put in the work to get there. So it's always just looking forward and trying to be and look at the positives and where you need to grow at.
Absolutely. I gotta ask you this question real quick. How do you define purpose, and do you think that purpose is a destination or a journey?
How do I define purpose? Ooh, that's a good question. We talked about calling earlier. It's really just something that you're supposed to do, but it's also like a pleasure too. Like you're welcoming it. Man, it's just something like I won't say it'll come easy to you, but you will enjoy doing it too. So you won't
Mhm.
mind putting in that work for it. And you just feel right doing it,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
make perfect sense.
Yeah, but it's a journey to me. Because there is no
Yeah.
destination. Like, say in my coaching life, I get to state. I'm just not going to just stop coaching once I win state. No, we're going to try to get there again.
Mhm.
Same thing with
Yeah.
teaching. Like, if I could send 100 kids to college and they all get degrees, I'm like, oh, I'm good. No, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, for sure. How has your relationship with God impacted your journey?
It's carried me a long way because I've thought about like my first years coaching and I thought I knew a lot then, but it's nowhere to what I know now.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes I even surprise myself with stuff that I remember I'm able to do. And I was like, this is nothing but God. We just go more recently. Before I got the head coaching job in my school now, it was only one position that I could have got to be the head coach for as far as teaching wise, because sometimes coaching jobs are tied to a teaching job. So I had to
Mhm.
study and take this certain certification test. But I could have went somewhere else and just taught what I've been teaching. So I put all my eggs in this basket to pass my test. But if I didn't pass it that first time, the test was going to change for one. And then I had a certain amount of time to retake it and pass it that second time. So I put all my
Mhm.
eggs in that basket. And when I'm taking the test, I study my butt off for it. And I'm taking the
Mhm.
test, and I don't know if I'm doing good or not. And I promise you, this one of the hardest. I ain't even in college. I ain't taking no tests this hard. So as I'm taking the test, I'm freaking out. I was like, bro, I don't know if I'm getting none of this stuff right. So I literally just stopped and I prayed. I'm telling you, I stopped and I prayed. And then I was like, God, you got me, you got me. I finished the test and I passed with flying colors. So when I tell you he is a part of every journey, he is a part of every journey that I've been through.
Yeah. Look, I think that people take the quote, "I'm betting on myself" a little too literal, because
Yeah,
when I say betting on myself, I'm talking about betting on the version of me that God has created, right?
yeah,
So that's why I chose that theme for this season, is because we learn to do hard things better
hmm,
because we have God in our corner. And it's a lot easier to bet on yourself when you know who's in your corner, because it's not just us, right? So I love that you shared that, because that could have been something that you could have been very prideful about and just been like, well, I'm just gonna leave.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I can go over there and get more money and better district, and
yeah,
all the rundown of what you could have did, but you stayed put because there was something pulling you there or
yeah.
keeping you there. And that
Hmm.
ain't nothing but God telling you, hey, this is where you're supposed to be.
Right.
This
Like
is
I
where you
couldn't leave my players. I didn't want to let my homeboy and my coach and mentor down because he was like, hey, I'm leaving this for you. He's like, you didn't
Mhm.
help me build this up. I'm leaving it for you. So he was like, if
Yeah.
you can stay, but he also understood if I left too. And I was like, no, I can't do that. So it
Yeah.
was all God. So can't say nothing else about that.
Yeah. Well, I gotta ask you my last question that I ask everybody.
Okay.
If you knew then what you know now, would you change anything?
When? Like what part?
No, in general, in life. If you knew then what you know now, would you change anything? He said, what part?
Yeah, like what part of my life? What part would I change?
That's your question.
I know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I would because I think I needed that break from education to show me that I appreciated it more. I needed that break from coaching to fall back in love with the game and everything. I don't think I would have impacted the same amount of people, say, if I stayed at my previous school instead of here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't change
No.
nothing. I would
Yeah.
have trusted God sooner. That was it, and not pushing it. But it also made me appreciate the journey even more.
Yeah. Yeah. I got one more bonus question. One more bonus
Okay, now you
question.
good.
When it comes to you playing sports and you wanting to play in college and like go further, do you feel like you not reaching that idea of what you had out of high school? Do you think that impacts the way that you coach?
Yeah, it's more of a hunger too,
Okay. Yeah.
because it was times where I played against guys that were playing in college, and I'm holding my own if I'm not
Yeah.
busting their ass. So me having that glimpse of seeing like, hey, I could have did it if I went about it a different way, if or I had different guidance in it, it is okay with me. But as many kids I done got to help play in college, it don't even matter to me no more.
Yeah.
Cause I done
Yeah.
helped get, was it, I think 22 kids a basketball scholarship where they was
Mhm.
training them or coaching them directly. And those are just the ones that wanted to go that route. Cause I've had at least 10 other kids that could have went to play, but they didn't want to go to school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Well, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I
Anytime.
definitely anytime. But I think that it's very important for people to understand that you have to understand who you are as a person so that you can be the best coach, and understanding that development is the key and the most important thing when it comes to this line of work, this
Yes.
purpose. So
And you gotta be versatile. That's what I want more people to see. If you're a coach at any level, you have to be versatile. Like, yeah, you wanna be able to put however you do certain things, you want them to adjust to it, but you also gotta meet them halfway too.
yeah, especially these kids. They're
Yeah,
different. They're a lot different. So yeah, you got to be able to come where they at and make things palatable.
yeah.
That's the best way I can put it.
Nah, that's hey, listen, that's facts. That's the best word to use.
It's the best word to use.
Life coach with the right approach, yeah. She gon' put some Jesus on it. It's that level 27. Hey, don't stress, be blessed. 3 things to digest. Stay focused, trust God, and respect the process.